Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan. One of the biggest issues with the Netflix Witcher franchise is the hyper-emphasis upon side characters and secondary characters who shouldn't have a whole lot of screen time that are brought to the forefront, sidelining Geralt, the title character, in his own show. Now, this happens with characters like Cahir, Francesca, and Fringilla, characters that we should barely have met now in Season 3 or in subsequent seasons after that even, and even when we do meet them, they should only have a very, very limited screen time, but they've been brought up to being near main characters. Now, this issue also applies to characters like Yennefer and Ciri, who gradually become more important as the series goes on, specifically Ciri. At this point, she shouldn't have been in Season 1 at all if they adapted The Last Wish only, but if they adapted both The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny like they did, she should have only been in the last episode or two and not in the entire thing. And Yennefer, she hasn't seen Geralt since Sword of Destiny, so Geralt and Yennefer shouldn't have even seen each other in Season 2 at all. There's a lot of changes they're making to the source material, and it's all to sideline Geralt, in my opinion, because Yennefer's storyline in Season 2 was 100% made up, and it's starting to create issues for Season 3, as they say they're getting a little bit closer to the books, but it makes it so it's hard to predict what's going to happen because this isn't The Witcher. And the future of the franchise is even more muddled after Season 3 because there's no way that they're going to be able to stick to the source material whatsoever because they've damaged the foundation of the story to this strong of a degree. Now, we have this article here from the Redeeming Intelligence that shows that Yennefer's storyline will again be changed like it was in Season 2 from her story in the books. Now, quick spoiler alert here for Time of Contempt, the second Witcher novel. Not that it's going to be a big deal because it doesn't look like Season 3 is going to be adapting Time of Contempt very much whatsoever, but in Time of Contempt for the first half, which Volume 1 is supposedly adapting, Yennefer spends the majority of the story training Ciri in Gors-Velen. That's what she's supposed to be doing, is developing her relationship with Ciri, later on developing her relationship with Geralt even more, and then disappearing because she disappears at the coup at Thanen, and we don't see her again in the rest of the book. That is what she should be doing, and it's important that she does that because we need that foundational relationship with Ciri, which we didn't get last season at all, which we should have seen the first burgeonings of it, and it's important for the later seasons in the source material what happens to her. But if she's not spending the time dealing with Ciri, what is she going to be doing? How can we make her a strong, independent woman with stuff that isn't motivated by relationship stuff? She's got to be motivated by power. She's got to be motivated by influence. She's got to be motivated by selfish things, because that's what all female characters need to be doing. That's what happened in Season 2. She tried to kill Ciri, and now I imagine it's going to be very much the same thing as confirmed in this article that says Yennefer unites the mages in The Witcher Season 3. Now, this is a problem because in the books after the Battle of Sodden Hill, Yennefer was actually promoted to be a member of the Council of the Brotherhood of Sorcerers, which makes sense why she'd be involved in a minor way in bringing the sorcerers together for the conclave at Thanet to deal with the encroaching Nilfgaardian invasion issue. That sort of makes sense. It's more inferred. We don't actually know if she brought the conclave together because there was more important things for her character to be doing for the first half of Time of Contempt. But in the show, after she used evil fire magic at the Battle of Sodden Hill, she was actually banished from the Brotherhood and lost her power, spending the majority of Season 2 trying to get her powers back. So she's not on the council like she should be. So why is she uniting the mages, and why is it her idea, as confirmed in this article, to bring the conclave of Thanet together? Because that is a terrible idea given the circumstances. She definitely knows that the conclave is happening, but she specifically goes to Gors-Velen and Thanet to get Ciri into Aretuza because she does believe that's the best thing for her. And it is an important thing in the next season because after the coup at Thanet, it is believed that it's her fault that she's dealing with Nilfgaard, that she betrayed the North. And that's a big thing. People believe that she's a Nilfgaardian traitor with Vilgefortz. And so when she rejoins the sorcerers in the next book, they all don't trust her. But she has plausible deniability. She's like, hey, I didn't put this thing together. I just was there because of Ciri and Aretuza. Why would I put my adopted daughter in danger if I intended to attack you all with Scoia'tael in the basement? That plan didn't actually work out, but that was the Nilfgaardian traitors' plan at Thanet. So why would she do any of that if that was her original intent? And that was enough of plausible deniability to get her into the door, into the foundation of the Lodge of Sorceresses. That doesn't make any sense here if it was her idea to found the conclave and was her idea to bring Ciri into the middle of all this. She loses that plausible deniability. But there is an interesting writing aspect that could be taken with this change. Of course, they're not going to do it. But in the books, she breaks down and sobs, talking to Ciri like, ugly one, it was my fault. This was a mistake. I made a mistake. I should never have brought you here. She recognizes that it was a terrible idea to bring Ciri to Gors-Velen because Everybody's dying during the coup. The coup is a bloody affair, but she admits that she was wrong. And that's important. But Netflix is never going to allow Yennefer to admit that she was wrong. So that interesting character, with her making it more her fault than just bringing Ciri there and making it her fault that that event even is taking place, all that death on her shoulders would be interesting, but they can't do that to Yennefer. They can't do that in a woke identity politics driven show. It's pointless just to make her strong and independent and more politically minded, because they want this to be Game of Thrones so very, very badly. They want their strong female characters. They want their political machinations. They want Yennefer to be a mastermind. She can't spend an entire season dealing with her relationship with the man and adopted daughter. That's too traditional. She's got to be a political mastermind, manipulating everyone, bringing people together, organizing the conclave. That's what she has to be doing, because strong, independent woman. I'm sick of this show trying to be Game of Thrones. It's not an ensemble cast. These secondary characters shouldn't be nearly main characters. It should be about Geralt, a little bit about Yennefer, a little bit about Ciri, and then as the series progresses, more and more about Ciri, because by the time we get to the last book, Ciri gets relatively equal, if not more, screen time than Geralt. It's about almost passing the torch. It's not actually passing the torch, but from a main character perspective, it kind of is. And they just never understood that with The Witcher. They were too hyper-emphasized on being Game of Thrones, and this is further evidence of it, that they don't care about the source material, that Yennefer just has to be strong, independent, and it's a terrible, terrible idea to put the conclave together and get Ciri in the middle of it. And unless she recognizes and apologizes and breaks down in tears and says, I should never have done this, this was a huge mistake, this is going to be a disaster from a writing and logics perspective, just like everything we've seen coming out of Season 3 thus far. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.